International Overdose Day, Timmins has never recognized it. So we had a proclamation at the Porcupine Health Unit that was done by the Timmins mayor. And every dot on here is a life lost just in Ontario in the past year. So I was trying to do something that really popped out and made people realize like every dot is somebody's life that has been taken from opioids. Yeah, and we just left it up here for people to see. But we're just trying to rehumanize drug overdose.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot, in Timmins there's a lot of stigma still. We're kind of a sheltered community in that sense, especially with mental health, addiction. People are very old school in their way of thinking, so we're trying to bring new concepts to Timmins and why we use naloxone, why we have harm reduction services. We often get a lot of donations, so it's filled with donations. We recently got donations from a hotel redoing all their linen, and they donated all their old linen here. So we've shared throughout the community. This is our reception area. We're actually just getting a receptionist for the first time, so that'll be pretty nice. Our boardroom. And this is Kaylee, our coordinator. Going to be on video.
Hi.
And this is Jason, the executive director.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hey, you too.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah, pleasure.
They're going to get after they'll meet you in the boardroom.
Perfect. I'll answer questions.
Yeah. So this is our harm reduction health services room. It just opened in May, so I started May 13th, Kaylee and I. So Jason already had things going for the harm reduction clinic. I just set everything up and got it to start. So this is our harm reduction supply. It's low right now. Usually it's filled up, but it's the end of the month, so we're just waiting for our stock to come in. Pretty much we went from seeing 124 people in June to having, visits, to having 369 visits last month. Yes, so like huge progress. We do have a lot of opioid users at Living Space. It's quite popular, so we go through a lot of supplies. We've also seen a really great return rate of the syringes. Last month we had 14,000 syringes returned just in Living Space. The month before we had 20,000. Yeah, so we have a high return rate, which is great. We also serve some people out of the community, so we're developing trust amongst the community, and they're coming now and they're seeking not only harm reduction, but they'll come see me as well for foot care, wound care. Although I'm not a nurse in this profession, like in this role, I am a nurse, so I will look at their wounds and just kind of note if they need to go to the hospital or be seen, or if it's something I can just show them how to clean a wound and wrap it, and I'll keep an eye on it. We have people coming to see us for housing as well, so we've done a lot of referrals for housing. Last month there was a couple living in the bush, and they came to see us for an arm wound, and it ended up turning out they were ready to actually have help finding an apartment, so we actually housed them as well. So a lot of connections, a lot of trust building. We also have the nurse practitioner from Miss Away every Tuesday. That started about a month and a half ago. One of their doctors, Dr. Belmer, also comes. We have foot care once a month by Dylan from Rainbow Foot Care. He's seen about 20 or so people, and he'll actually outreach, which is really important in this environment. So he'll go down, talk to people, get them to come up, build a rapport with them. Yeah, we also have Pearly White's Dental, and she comes in and does free cleanings the first Monday of the month. So that's really amazing. A lot of people, we just bring services to people. So some people do have their band card for free care, but they won't seek it in the community. So we're all about really bringing the services to them, which has been really effective. Even the nurse practitioner clinic, we had she was diabetic, her sugars were almost 30. She refused to go to Emerge. Finally, we got her actually to see the nurse practitioner, and we now have her sugars under control. So that's doesn't seem like big wins, but it really is when these people won't even go to Emerge to get to be seen. So stuff like that. So we also offer like the condoms and sexual health testing through the Porcupine Health Unit. He comes twice a week. He does HIV and Hep C testing as well. We're having this summer, not as many people are around, but just even yesterday being cooler, he was able to see 2 people in the morning. So we're hoping the numbers go up for testing as well. We're going to have a blitz shortly as well for testing. Yeah, but this is our our health services harm reduction room for now.
A lot of complementary different services coming together.
Yes, a
in this
lot
building.
of, and that's what Jason made, and he'll talk to you guys about like living space being the hub. So bringing services to the people, and a lot of community members don't realize that, or they want to come in here and make appointments. Our population we're dealing with doesn't do appointments. Like, you have to get them while they're here. So it's actually a really big barrier. But bringing them here and kind of getting them to see what the population is like here, it's coming together. 2 offices, so they have, I think, about 10 clients each, and they help house people into permanent housing. There's a bit of a wait list, unfortunately. Hey Jeff, do you mind if I tell them a little bit about you?
Sure.
Yeah. So this is Jeff. These are 2 students from McMaster University. So Jeff actually started off in our shelter downstairs. He was homeless. For how long were you homeless for, Jeff?
6 months.
6 months. But I guess you came to us with your resume at the perfect time, and we needed a cleaner. And we got him. He had already went through Employment Works and had some training done, and he wrote his resume up. So we hired him as a cleaner. We connected him to room to rent, and then he actually just moved into his own apartment. Is it 2 weeks ago now?
2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago. And he's still working, and hopefully we're going to connect Jeff with another job, more permanent, full-time hours. So that's a pretty great story.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think he's, did you start school yet?
Yes.
Yes, okay. And he's also upgrading, finishing your high school and hoping to do some trade work, eh?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh,
Pretty
great.
cool. Yeah. So we can go down into the shelter. So we're actually expanding next door as well. It's just the renovations haven't started yet. So we'll actually have permanent bunk beds there, like a shelter you'd see probably in Hamilton or Toronto. We're hoping to have it done before the -40s come along.
Yeah.
It does get very cold in Timmins. This is our storage room. If you even want to, I'll let you hear us sneak out. But all this wall is all donation based through Hope. We get donations of soap, conditioner, all those things that we take advantage of having daily. Even razors, sunscreen, deodorant, and so we supply people with that every day. We always have socks. People are always in need of socks. Even if people don't want to wash them, we'll have a bin and rewash them for them. And yeah, so we also have some clothes, extra clothes too, and we have cots that go out every night until we have the permanent bed locations. And our kitchen is all donation based, except for the coffee and creamer. We pay for that. And some of the other stuff. This is just our laundry room. Did you guys want to see in the laundry room? We just got new washers and dryers. Next door we'll have commercial size ones. But that's what they do all day, right? Because all the linen from the night before. So they have the washers and dryers going on 24 hours a day pretty much. Yeah. Nothing too exciting for there. So we have our 2 washrooms, staff bathroom. So unfortunately there is a lot, I guess you guys would know this, there's a lot of substance use that goes on in bathrooms throughout, whether it's here in the community. So we do have a overdose protocol we follow with naloxone and an ambu bag. I think we've responded to 5 since May in here. Knock on wood, Timmins has been on the low end for overdoses in the last 2 months. We think that it might have something to do with, there was a big seize of drugs, of perps, so we're hoping it continues. But we've seen a lot of overdoses in the bathroom, so we constantly monitor the bathrooms. Just for their safety, we try and keep it nice and we don't want to bug people. You need to have your time in the bathroom, but we definitely monitor everybody. This is Dan and Tammy. They're also program workers.
Hi
guys. So this is our kitchen. Like I said, our kitchen is funded through Hope. Oh, and Julie's here right now from Hope. She can even talk to you guys. You can tell them about Hope and then how it's brought you to With Mission Nutrition and how it's kind of brought you to this kitchen.
Okay, so basically I founded Hope 3 years ago. It'll be 3 years in November. I've been working with homelessness for 6 years, mind you. So basically Hope started off as an outreach group that handed out hygiene kits as well as warm clothing and warm items to the individuals on the streets. Obviously, this was before Living Space existed, so everybody was on the streets at the time, so there was nowhere else to go. And then as time went on, once Living Space opened, Hope started serving meals here once a week, which is where Mission Nutrition was born. Just kind of happened one night where we decided to nickname it Mission Nutrition, and it kind of stuck. And now we're at the point where Hope has taken over the procedures that have to do with the kitchen. So all the donations, all the food rescues, scheduling of volunteers, as well as serving all the meals. So we have 16 meals in a week in a month that we serve here at Living Space.
And I feel like it might even be more because we've been serving a lot of breakfasts today.
Yeah, we serve
and that's not include extra
6
meals from donations.
Yeah, so the six breakfasts, 6 lunches, and 2 suppers now is what we're serving as it is for right now.
And in terms of the food rescues, how does that work?
It's actually
The box is right there.
we have a cooler, and when businesses register with foodrescue.ca, I receive a text that says I have something to give you, and if I claim it, if I'm the first one to claim it, then I get to go and pick it up, which is basically what I just did. So with Urban Farm, they've donated some veggies that are on the verge of no longer being good, so it's perfect timing for us to cut it up, freeze it, and keep it for stews and soups and whatnot.
That's really cool.
It's a great partnership for sure.
Foodrescue.ca, is that across Canada? Anyone can sign on? Or how does it,
I don't
how
know
big
if
is
it's
the
across
scope?
Canada, but it's definitely across Ontario.
Because I've never heard of it before.
It's fairly new. It's something we've only been doing for about 2 months now, I'm thinking. It's a great organization that has us all teaming up together and working together so that a whole lot less food ends up in the dumpsters.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And healthy food to add. And that's part of, I'll add to her Mission Nutrition is because a lot of the times homeless shelters are unable to feed people healthy food. They'll often eat a lot of Mr. Noodles, Kraft Dinner, just stuff that's processed.
Yeah.
So we offer healthy meals here, and that's a huge difference necessarily maybe in the past when there wasn't as much funding or donations. I think with Mr. Noodles.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody here wants to see that.
Which is why Mission Nutrition was born, actually, because that was the reason that we just hated coming in and handing in Mr. Noodles every night at 8:30, and that was what they got, kind of thing, and it just irked us like crazy. So it got to the point where we started raising funds and reaching out to other businesses to sponsor meals. We had Slice of Hope for a while, so that was a pizza night. And then, like I said, the Mission Nutrition, and now Mission Nutrition has taken over full time.
That's awesome.
It's pretty fun.
She's worked with Jason since the beginning, so it's really her and Jason are really the foundation of Living Space, and have brought all these different partners together. Well, yeah, and see, and this is some of the food donations all up here. We get quite the stock. Living Space does have some pretty regular volunteers. There's 2, Rosie and Leah. They're here for breakfast and make meals often. They're hoping to open this up to serve people through there, open up the kitchen a bit, and just really make it easier to use. It's very hot in here right now, so you will, if you're cooking, it's like a sauna.
It's horrible to cook in here.
Yeah. But they come and they do it because I think they care.
Yeah. Leah and Rosie are definitely diehard volunteers, and
they go to every single event for us. Like we had our cleaning, our spring cleanup. They were there in the morning, first thing, right till the end. At every event. The only 2 that are scheduled long term, 2 days summer.
a week. Summer, winter, fall, doesn't matter. They're here.
So I think having a good volunteer base is definitely something that brings all these programs together. Because a lot of the time we don't have the funds to pay people to do everything, right? Yeah. So this is the shelter. So this shelter, there's coffee available there the majority of the day, about 16 hours. We have the microwave, we have snacks out. We also sometimes have puzzles out and try and interact. there's actually a local artist coming, and she's going to be painting another mural there. So this is where the cots get set up. We can have 20 cots a night and 8 people who sit on the chairs. So we can be at 30 at capacity in the evening. This is the shelter office. This is where everybody works. So, as you know, when you're homeless, you carry your stuff in the bag.
I'm the best resident here. I'm the second best.
So we offer bins, they can lock them, or we have twist ties just to keep some of their stuff safe. We do restrict it to a bin each because this whole building would be filled, especially after our cleanup. This is the outside and the back of the shelter. We've tried to make it homey. There's in the summertime, we have the umbrellas that go up. We had a basketball net as well for people to play. We have 2 gardens that was donated from Miss Away. So we'll use the vegetables from there, and then we get the patrons to really try and help keep it watered and maintained. And same with trying to keep out here clean. So we really try and involve the patrons in some self-care and helping us keep this place nice.
What is Miss Away, by the way?
So Miss Away is the healthcare center. Its main focus is with the Indigenous population, but they're located down the highway, but they have nurse practitioners there. They have traditional medicine. They might actually be somebody that you guys could probably see. I can give you their card. So this is actually the other building that's going to be renovated shortly. So the shelter, this will just be like more of a hangout area. The shelter will be on the main floor. More of a hangout area, and we'll have some commercial sized laundry facilities down there. And then we'll have more transitional units. So I can show you our transitional units. So the point of the transitional unit is they have a year to help transition into the community. This is just my office, and this is Rebecca. She's a nursing student. So there's 2 rooms over here. They have a washer, a dryer, 2 bathrooms. This is their shared kitchen. And we actually just came up here. We started Tuesday. My office was on the main floor, but now that I have room to be up here, we'll be just interacting with everybody up here more. So we'll be just giving more life skills. So we'll help them cook, how to do groceries, even budgeting skills that we all have, but they've never had the need to budget or to learn how to cook because they've been on the street for so long. So all these are rooms. We get direct payment from Ontario Works or ODSP, so it pays for them. It's also functional for living space because it gives us an income source as well, so that we're not so reliant on other means of funding. So all these rooms are filled. So we're also funded by have 6 bail beds because the Cochrane shelter, which I'm sure you guys will be visiting, they don't take anybody that has any that's on bail, which is a large portion. So this is Mike. He's a float worker, so he helps me up with upstairs. So anything to do with the transitional units, they work 10 to 6, and they'll help the patrons up there.
And take the dog for a walk.
And take the dog for a walk. Yeah. So they do have.
Has its perks.
So I had wrote this as well. We just made this last week to go with our harm reduction. So what harm reduction is. So I can give these to you guys as well. That's for Hope from Julie that we talked to downstairs. We also have this cool thing too. It shows the different resources in Timmins. So it shows where we have like outdoor, even our kiosks, critical mental health resources, supportive, non-emergent housing.
I remember
So
talking
Indigenous
about this
resources.
downstairs.
So I'd say almost
come in the office and talk
probably
to
higher than 80% of our clientele is Indigenous. We have a lot of people that come from the coastal communities. Sometimes they'll be just shipped here because they've been banned from their community and they come into homelessness. So we're actually I'll be going up there in October, November to try and do some preventative teaching, so to connect with us and let's see if we can get somebody housed before you just send them to Timmins into homelessness. So some prevention.